My pregnancy with Rowan was very run-of-the-mill, but it was very exciting, and first child of mine. And all we wanted was a red-haired boy, and we got him. We went to the clinic, and the look on that doctor's face was total alarm. Rowan was laying on an exam table, crying and bleeding. He was so sick. When the medical team were all looking at each other and not saying anything to us, that to me is a sign that something else is going on. I started to get suspicious that there was something more going on when one of the nurses came in and started asking us about our medical history. And anytime I've ever been asked that, I've always mentioned my uncle. And every single one of the symptoms were things that my uncle went through in his life. He had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in his 20s. In his 40s, he had a catastrophic bacterial infection. They had to amputate his hands and feet to save his body, and he did live. He lived for another 10 years. I always knew what had happened to my uncle, and I didn't want that for my child. Nobody wants to see their kid suffer like that. One morning, we were woken up by a phone call from Rowan's hematologist saying that Rowan does have Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome, a severe bleeding and immune deficiency disorder. When we decided to have a child, I never, ever thought that I would be in that percentage of families that spends time in the hospital, that has a sick kid. I never, ever thought that. And when we were told the details of treatment for Rowan's condition, we went back to our hotel room and I just cried. I broke down. I contacted my doula and I said, I didn't sign up for this. I can't do this. What am I supposed to do? And she said, you just do it. One day at a time, 1 minute at a time, just do it. And I did. Because you have to. Chris and I knew we had no choice. We had to bring him in for transplant. I wasn't going to let him just die. We had to take the risk. The day that we got a positive blood cell count from his own body, oh, I was so relieved. We stepped out of our isolation room, and the other families in transplant were all clapping and waving through their windows. And all the nurses who were available came around to our door and they all clapped and cheered for him, and they handed Rowan a medal. And he immediately took it off, and I was crouching down in front of him and he put it on me. He was old enough to understand that this was an award, and he gave it to me. Of course I burst into tears, because how can you not be emotional when your 2-year-old child who just went through a dangerous medical procedure wants to honor you instead. It was incredible. When we were discharged from the hospital, it was amazing seeing Rowan just be a kid again, wearing normal clothing, running around with other children. Moments like that make me so thankful that BC Children's Hospital exists, that the nurses and doctors there are doing their jobs so well, and that research has brought us to a place where someone like my child has a chance at a normal life. This disorder in our family, after generations of pain and death, will end with us. It won't affect our family ever again. And that's so wonderful. BC Children's Hospital did that for us.
Thanks for donating the hospital for really sick people.